Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, your 26th favorite knife reviewer in the world. And since the other 25 of your favorites retired, that moves me up. So, you guys know I have a love-hate relationship with Spyderco. Their folders, the ones that look like mice, you know what I mean? They kind of have that rodent look to them. I cannot stand the look. But, like my Tenacious and whatever other one I have, and I even have a bird, they work. They work really freaking good. The steel is always sharp. It holds a good edge. It's made of good materials. And I have nothing bad to say about them outside of the look of some of those folders. But sometimes, just sometimes, Spyderco comes out with a knife that makes me go, well, damn. And this one is a version of one they have. It's developed by Phil Wilson. This is his third design that he's done for them. And while he does like a lot of like fillet knives, and the guy's like a meatologist, I don't know. He does a lot of outdoor stuff, and he loves to design functional outdoor knives. So we're going to give this Phil Wilson a go. Now, normally it comes with a black and gray, and I'm actually going to show you the picture because this is the limited edition. But normally it comes looking like that, right? Comes stainless. It's 8CR13 MOV. It usually comes stainless color, black and gray. This one is the limited edition, so it's called the camo. It's obviously got like tan and olive drab going on in there. It is a permanently fixed handle on a true full tang with a really nice sized, hey, I can see you through it, lanyard hole right there. The sheath is super, super nice quality. Really nice. Folded on one side and stitched on the other, but it's really thick. It's got a good belt loop. Everything about this is really nice. You even got the Spyderco, which kind of looks more like a tick logo on there. It should be Tickico. But I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Sometimes they just find a way. A real letter. They find a way to impress me sometimes. So the Phil Wilson design, that's the limited edition, you can see obviously is coated. It's coated. I have another Spyderco that's coated black where the coating holds really well. So I have to say they do a good job with that. Their powder coating is fantastic. If you need questions on powder coating, go over to Scab, Choir Boys with the Z Cutlery. He's marching 5,000. Give him subs. This thing, it's got G10 scales. And for me, double X size hands, my hands are huge. For me, it still has enough real estate to where if I grab it, you know, I'm over the edge, but I'm not, because it's dead center of my pinky, that hold, which means the rest of my hand doesn't know there's no knife there because that pinky in the center is getting enough grip. So that's really nice. I flip it around and I have just enough to put my hand on the guard, my pinky on the guard, which is, you know, the upswept end of the blade where the ricasso is, and I can put my thumb down here so I have good traction for things like that. It's got a really, really nice smooth spine. It feels 90, so you probably could strike spark with it. This isn't the knife you're using that for, but you can. It's got this thing, this little hole right there. Guys, that is genius. Do you have any idea what that's for? If so, please leave a comment, because I have no idea. It could be used for lashing. It could be used for hanging. I was talking to Scab, and he was talking about how, you know, Kershaw makes a hole in the end, and it's for hanging after skinning to dry the knife. I don't know if that's right, but Scab seemed pretty damn confident, so who knows? Maybe it's to hang the knife. But it does have that, so you're welcome. It's got the, it's just got a really, really beautiful angle to it, kind of like the sharp finger. It almost gets it has a feel of that, except I hate to say it, but a little better. And you guys know how much I love that damn sharp finger. 1 second. I think that was even less than a second. That's pretty fast. So, okay, I always forget because for me it was more than a second. Let's get to back. We were talking about the black coating. It's a full flat grind, trailing point, hole in the middle, little guard, G10. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a really, really classy design, and it's one of those designs that's just, it's made to be a workhorse in the outdoors. And when I say workhorse, I mean, this is that guy right here that you're going to skin with. This is the guy that after you've done skinning it, you're going to cut the meat up into little pieces. Then you're going to put it in the pan. You're going to be able to use it to shiv it around in your hot plate or however you're cooking it on your spit, whatever you're going to do. And then when it's done, you're going to be able to cut it, poke, and eat with it. This isn't going to be your hack down a tree knife, clearly, but can it be your feather sticking knife? Absolutely. There's no reason why not. This knife is great edge geometry. So what we're going to do is, all I needed was I wanted to show you guys the picture. So that's it. We're going to take this out. So let's see if we can get some sharpness. I know I wasted some of these hairs before. So let's see. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that wasn't even hard. I mean, I barely touched myself. That's not true. As a teenager, I did a lot of that. I'm still a teenager. So it's just crazy sharp. Like all Spydercos I've ever used come really sharp. So what we want to do is we want to test it. So before we go to the outer banks, we're going to come to the inner banks, and we're going to see if we can just test it on some things that I have laying around in here, which is going to be something like a common use, you know what I mean, your outdoor cooking knife. So as you can see, been doing the kitchen over, so it's going to look a little different. Last night I built a couple guards for the stove. I put what I'm using here behind the stove, made my cuts, and all those cuts are perfect. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. Even did a designating cutting board on this side, so it's pretty sweet. All right, so enough showing you guys the kitchen, even though it's coming out beautiful. Let me get some food. All right, so I got a couple things to play with here. First things first, we're going to take the end off a strawberry. Now, I could take the knife and just do this to the end to cut it off, but I mean, yum, that's going to be way too simple. So what I want to do is, since I have a good skinning knife, I'm going to come in at about a 15-degree angle, and then I'm just going to turn my strawberry. Now, if your knife is dull, when you turn your strawberry, what's going to happen is it's going to crush the strawberry, and you're just going to get a bunch of dents. When the knife is crazy sharp, that comes off really simple. So let's turn this into a nice flat spot here by taking this off. You got to be very careful at the end of that cut, because no lie, you will cut your fingers with this knife. This is sharp. Let's see if we can't make a really nice paper thin. And I mean paper thin. Look how see-through that is. That is delicious. See-through sharp. All right, let's go a little thicker. A little thicker. Okay, here we go. A little thicker, but it's still almost see-through. It's almost like opaque. Look at this. Got a nice strawberry. All right, let's see if we can do a really nice, long, thin one. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, this knife is so sharp. The good thing about those really thin cuts, if you're going to use strawberries in salads, I recommend cutting them super paper thin, because you get tons of flavor in these little thin pieces, but it just goes better in salad, and it goes a lot farther. It'll go a lot farther. All right, so no more cutting the strawberry. We'll do this. We'll just cut it like this, and boom, you get to see that. That's where we're going to take it out. Olives. Olives are another one that if you cut wrong, they will bend and fold and get all herky-jerky on you. Nice cuts all the way through. Just really nice. This whole thing is pretty sweet. All right, let's put these right here. And now we're just going to cut one more thing. Cut a little piece of bird. Cut a little piece of bird. Went to Costco, got a chicken, which is funny because I got a pork loin in the oven. All right, so normally you take your fork and you hold it in there. This knife's pretty sharp. I'm going to try to one-hand it. Ready? One-hand it, skin and all. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. Drop some. All right. Let's go play. All right, so I told you that this is not your chopping knife, right? This is not the knife that you're going to delimb with. But if you are in a wilderness type situation or a survival type situation, and it is supposed to be an all-around knife, and you need to cook food. That means you need to heat food. Therefore, you need fire. Therefore, you need wood. Not all wood is going to split itself. If you're out in the woods and you don't have an axe because maybe you weren't planning to be out in the woods for quite a while, then you're going to need a knife that can do it all. Now, you hear a lot of people talk about batoning. Oh, batoning's stupid. Nobody ever batons and blah, 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 blah. And batoning's bad for the knife. Well, I'm going to give you guys a little lesson on reality. So batoning is actually incredibly important. And it depends on what you're batoning, how you're batoning, you know what I mean? Things like that. So if I had, let's say I had like the Schrade Leroy, right? The Schrade Leroy is a big, beautiful knife with a hollow grind. And nothing can destroy a hollow grind more than getting it into a piece of wood and then pulling it out at an angle, giving it a good little twist and yanking it. And what can happen is you can chip away a hollow grind, a nice thin piece. So in order to avoid damaging wood by, like, if I took my knife and I start swinging as hard as I can, there's no guarantee that I'm hitting the same spot in the same angle, at the same pitch, at the same rate every single time to protect my knife. So why do we do batoning? Because with batoning, what you can do is you can pick the angle, pick the rate, you know, and pick the area of the wood you want to hit. Then when you hit it, you don't have to smash on it. You baton at an angle, not this way against a log, but this way. And this is how we get through pieces of wood. Let me just grab a nice piece here. All right, so grab a little something to hit it with. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to baton properly. And this, my friends, if you are in a situation where you need to get firewood and you need to, let's say this is 40 feet long, right? And I don't have a little tiny piece. I'm going to put my knife at an angle, right? And now I'm just going to start going like this. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's going into the wood. Let me see if I can get you a little closer. I don't know. I'm not at the stump. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this little angle here, and I'm just going to gently persuade the wood to separate. I'm going to ask it really nice. Of course, I wish I had a better stump. So this is what happens when I'm on the opposite side of the yard. So this is not working. This stump sucks. Let's try this again. I'm just going to do it down here. You guys can see, I'm sure. So I'm just going to hit my knife the same spot, just like that. So now I'm about halfway through. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to go to the other side of the wood, and I'm just going to gently tap until I get my knife into the wood. Now I could go all the way through, but I want to preserve my knife, so I'm going to hit it just in the center so I know where the wear is happening, right? And look at this. It's really, really simple. So now I have a cut that goes all the way around. Now, if this is really long and I can pick it up, I can smash it. If not, what I'll do is I'll just finish it off now, because I know that once it starts getting to a certain point, the whole thing is just going to go. Just like that. Just like that. Now, I hit the same exact angle every single time. Every single time I picked an angle, I hit the angle. I didn't do this. I just did this. Tap, 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 tap. And it went through. What does that do? It gives me a piece of wood at a size that I need. So now, okay, well, I got to burn it. Okay, so if I got to burn wood, it's hard to burn a round log if you don't already have a fire going. You know what I mean? So now what I need to do is take this little knife and split it. Now it's split, so I don't have to go all the way down. There's pointless to keep hammering it. So now once you start getting it broken down, this part becomes a lot easier. So now I went from a branch somewhere on the ground to a log to kindling, just like that. So now I have every aspect of the fire except one. And that part is going to come right now. And look at this. Just easy. So now I can make my long feathers, and I can have a whole bunch of pieces like this. And then what I can do is I can choke up on this guy, and here we go. Nice controlled cuts from the side cut, and I can just keep them on there and know exactly where I'm going. Some swoops, boop, and we can try to get some curls here. There we go. So I just lay the knife down almost flat, and the wood is going to curl. They're all falling off, but believe me, they're looking like that. So now all my stuff is right here though. So I just pick it up, I light my fire, and just like that, by batoning, without taking the risk of chipping my edge, I'm able to get really, really easily prepared firewood. That simple, that easy. This little guy right here is so far pretty good. So you have fire, you stay warm, but you also have fire to eat. So let's go find something that we can maybe skin, right? And since a lot of the animals around here are really stuck up, and I'm like, hey, well, you know, would you like to donate your hide? They're like, no, no, no. So what I have to use is like soccer balls and basketballs. So, but a soccer ball and a basketball is a good way to represent a hide. So what we're gonna do, let's see if I can keep you guys in it. I'm gonna use my finger, I'm gonna push down, and I'm going to skin. And that, my friends, is really, really nice. So I need to skin. I need to separate this animal's skin from the animal's meat. Maybe I want to separate the skin to wear it, to make a hut, to stay warm, to you know, provide shelter. Anything, as long as I'm using it and it's working. So is it made to chop? No. But did I just chop a log in half? Yes. I just took a 2.5 inch piece and cut it in half without doing this for a half hour, and not only risking my blade, but what else does that do? It takes energy. It takes energy and time. Something that when you're in a survival situation, you want to save your energy, right? Especially if you don't have food yet, you better save your energy as best you can. And time is not on your side, always. So very, very important. Very, very important. What if you need to take the air out of your neighbor's car? Gently and nicely, with permission, you use that. So now, after batoning and doing all that, let's see. Can we still push cut? Absolutely. 1/2 inch nylon rope, no problem. Let's see, we got 4 layers of leather belt here. Absolutely, no problem. The knife is just a good knife. It's a good knife. Phil Wilson, great job. Great job. Let's see. Phil Wilson, can you catch a rabbit? Bing! First try! So, you got that little critter over there and you want to get him. Well, you might just be able to throw it at him and stab him. So, I mean, comfort is there. Ease of use is there. All the coating, look at this. You see the little rub marks. The coating is still on there. That's just sap and things like that. Look at that. That is perfect. That is perfect. It's beautiful. So I mean, if you are seriously interested in a really good little wilderness, if you are without wilder, you are wilderless. Wilderness fixed blade that is a one-all, do-all small camp knife for your smaller needs. I'll tell you what, this little guy right here is pretty damn sweet. And you can get it in the stainless version. It's going to be the same knife. You don't have to go hunting for the limited edition. I'm assuming they're a little harder to find, since it's well, limited edition too. So so that's it. I gotta say, this little Spyderco right here, it's even got a little Phil Wilson signature on it. This little guy right here is pretty sweet, and this is something I would not mind having on my belt in the middle of the woods. No way. And for all you people who don't understand batoning, I hope this little lesson helped you, but some of you are so stuck in the head with your own wrong feelings that you're not going to understand it anyway. Batoning is actually important in bushcraft. Very, very important. So, there you go. This little knife would have just set me up. It would have just set me up if I didn't have a pork loin in the oven. So that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.